house. So welcome back to Favorite from Friday. For the last case of this week, we are going back to Florida, specifically Daytona Beach. Our killer, interestingly, if you search up her name in the media, she literally, most of the stuff she's mentioned for is for the attempted murder that I'm going to be talking about. But apparently, while doing some digging, because you know your girl tries to dig up as much information on our killer and or our victims, if possible. And apparently she actually had been responsible for someone's death prior to the attempted murder, obviously. But like I said, if you search her up, she's mostly known for the attempted murder that I'm going to be talking about today. But of course, I obviously will be including the actual death first, because obviously that comes first, and then we'll get to the attempted murder. So of course, definitely know what you think down below. Should she have gotten a bigger sentence for the actual death that she had caused? What do you think that she should be doing now after I give the sentence that she's got for the attempted murders? And of course, if you know anybody involved in the case, definitely let me know. And so with that being said, I'm gonna quit my rambling and let's go get started. So of course, we gotta start with Ebony. Ebony Wilson was born sometime in 1982. Doesn't give a specific date. And in February 2007, doesn't give a specific date on this either. Apparently, she would get into a wreck that would kill a woman by the name of Jennifer Crane. Jennifer Crane was born on Christmas Eve, 1971. She was sadly leave behind a newborn and a husband, because she was married. And then apparently this was due to an improper lane change. So of course, since you caused somebody's death, we gotta punish you. And so instead, the only punishment that Ebony was given was a suspended license and 132 hours of community service. So I guess here's the part where it gets a little confusing, because I have like two separate dates for this. So apparently it's saying that March 5th, 2024, apparently Ebony, her husband, because she got married, doesn't specify his name or when they got married, but apparently she got married, had some kids by this point, and she would get into a fight with her husband at a hotel in Myrtle Beach, which is in South Carolina. So then she apparently takes the kids, they go to Walmart, she goes to cash in some coins. So I guess like she had like a bunch of coins, and she went somewhere to like converts the coins into cash so she can get away from said husband, because she would later claim that said husband was apparently abusive. So I guess somebody at some point had offered for her to go to a shelter, because usually that's where women go if they're like being like battered and abused and stuff. And so she refuses to go to a shelter and says, I'm going to Florida, and which Florida's where our story takes place. And apparently like 2 days later, I guess by the time she was back at the house with her husband, so that she goes away again. She goes and calls her sister. Her sister's understandably concerned for her well-being, because apparently Ebony had a history of mental health problems. So then she calls the police, but by the time the police get to the sister's house, Ebony and her kids are already gone by then. So then police actually find her apparently while she's on the way to Daytona Beach, and apparently Florida has a certain type of specifications for like mental health situation. I guess she didn't meet the qualifications, so she was let go. And then it says within like less than 2 hours after that, she's at Daytona Beach with the kids in the back seat. She starts driving to the water. People are understandably screaming, because at first apparently they thought it was like an accident that she got into the water, of course not knowing what she was actually trying to do. And apparently she had like a 10-year-old who apparently was trying to get her to stop going to the water, because he was like, like, what are you doing? So then of course Ebony, not caring about the little 10-year-old trying to get her to stop, she pressed her feet deeper on the gas, trying to get the car to go deeper into the water. And there's a man by the name of Stacy Robinson. He's able to get said 10-year-old and the 9-year-old girl out, and they screamed to him, hey, our baby sibling's still in the car. So then the lifeguard is able to get the 3-year-old out, and then Ebony eventually gets out of the car herself, and then eventually it's revealed that Ebony was actually pregnant at the time. So then, of course, Ebony and her kids are taken to the hospital for evaluation, and then her kids, who luckily all survived, they were all taken into Florida's DCF custody. So Department of Children Families, right? And so then, of course, Ebony, I guess, imagine get asked, like, why did you just try to kill all your kids? And Ebony would say that, oh, there were demons, and I was simply just trying to protect my kids. So, of course, Ebony, gets charged with 3 counts of attempted murder and child abuse. She would give birth to a boy while in jail, because remember I said she was pregnant when she tried to kill her kids. Apparently, the attempted murder charges would get dropped, and she was released on $90,000 bond, and her original bond was actually $1.5 million. So then her defense team tries to suggest that Ebony gets her tubes tied, for, like, obvious reasons. And then a psychiatrist would basically try to claim that Ebony had a schizoaffective disorder. So in May of 2016, I don't know how, because I thought they could like pretty much force you to take peace pills, but I guess not. She stops taking her medication and somehow is able to just walk out of the mental hospital that she's staying at, and almost gets hit by a semi truck on the highway. But luckily she's brought back before that can happen, and then she winds up staying at that hospital until like May of and she's pretty much ordered to stay at that hospital, I guess like an extension, because you almost got hit by a literal truck, until June of 2017. So she would eventually get released. And apparently she's like out now. At least that's what the latest article about her saying. And apparently she is not allowed to have contact with any of her kids, understandably, until it is deemed safe for her to do so, and she's not allowed to own any guns. Yeah, as you can imagine, because with the gun thing, they're probably, because again, like I said, she drove herself and these kids into this water. So not only would she be a danger to herself, she would also be a danger to the kids. Yeah. So anyway, like I said, that is the case of Ebony Wilson, at least what is publicly known. If anybody has any information on Ebony that I guess is not publicly known, that you think the public should know, definitely let me know. Like I said, if you know anybody involved in the case, definitely know. If you're like me, you're probably wondering why isn't Jennifer's case more talked about? Because the only reason I found out about Jennifer was thanks to Nancy Grace, which I'm pretty sure I have her listed somewhere in the credits down below. I mean, I guess we could hash our theories in the comments below. But other than that, with that being said, I cover Fatal Females 3 times a week. Subscribe for more Fatal Females, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!
So if I play dead, will you regret everything that you did, that you said? I don't think you understand what you're doing, and my heart's black and blue from the bruising. I feel like when I'm with you I'm losing. I feel like you